UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing one of the most serious internal challenges of his leadership, as pressure grows within the Labour Party over his ability to lead the country into the next general election. Notably, more than 80 Labour MPs have reportedly expressed doubts about his leadership, raising the possibility of a formal leadership contest, although none has yet been triggered. Well, despite this, Starmer has made clear that he will not resign voluntarily and intends to remain in office unless formally challenged through Labour's internal rules. Well, how this crisis began? Let us shed light on that. The crisis turns from Labour's disappointing performance in recent local and developed elections, which were significantly worse than expected and have shaken confidence across Westminster. Labour reportedly lost around 1,500 council seats in England and control of more than 25 local authorities, and the party also underperformed in Wales and failed to make gains in Scotland. And most damaging was the loss of support in Northern England, where traditional Labour strongholds shifted towards Reform UK, signalling a weakening of its working class base. And at the same time, the Greens gained support in several urban areas, including parts of London, showing Labour is losing voters on both its left and right flanks. Now, let us shed light on the growing internal revolt. Well, what began as a private concern has now become open tension as several ministerial aides have resigned, citing lack of confidence in Starmer's leadership. Reports also suggest that dozens of MPs have backed calls for change either privately or publicly. And behind the scenes, senior Labour figures have discussed whether Starmer should consider an orderly transition to avoid a prolonged internal battle. And Downing Street has tried to project stability by replacing aides quickly and insisting the government remains focused. But uncertainty continues to dominate Westminster. Well, who are the main contender to replace Starmer? Let us shed light on that. Number one, Wes Streeting. That could be the insider favourite, as Health Secretary Wes Streeting is seen as the leading contender from within the cabinet. He oversees the NHS and is regarded as one of Labour's strongest communicators. Number two, Andy Burnham. That is an outsider option. Outside Westminster, Andy Burnham, Mayor of Greater Manchester, is widely seen as a popular alternative. Although not an MP, he remains strong with party members and the public. Number three, Angela Rayner. That could be the soft left influence. Angela Rayner remains influential despite leaving government in 2025. She retains strong backing among Labour's soft left and trade unions. Number four, Ed Miliband. That could be a surprise return, as Energy Secretary Ed Miliband has re-entered leadership discussions more than a decade after leading Labour to defeat in 2015. He is closely linked to green energy policy and remains popular with younger voters. However, doubts remain over whether a former leader who previously lost a general election could return successfully. Well, there are also many other possible candidates, which include Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood, who appeals to Labour's right wing with a tougher stance on immigration, and Defence Secretary John Healey, seen as a steady compromise figure. Chancellor Rachel Reeves is also viewed as a continuity option, while newer MPs like Al Khan's and Catherine West represent calls for generational change. There are also deep divisions inside Labour, as at the core of the crisis is a widening ideological split. And the centrist wing prioritizes fiscal restraint, and the soft left wants higher public investment, and progressive voters are drifting towards the Greens. Meanwhile, Labour's right wing is focused on countering Reform UK. And all these divisions have made it difficult for Starmer to maintain a clear direction, with critics arguing that the party lacks unity and identity. But what would happen next? The King's speech will test whether the government can present a clear agenda and restore confidence among MPs. And this will be followed by an EU summit where Starmer hopes to show progress on rebuilding relations with Europe. And if all these fail to shift momentum, pressure for a leadership challenge is likely to grow ahead of the Labour Party conference. Well, Keir Starmer remains in office, but his position is increasingly fragile, and electoral setbacks, internal divisions and speculation about successors have left Labour in uncertainty. Whether he survives depends on whether MPs believe he can still unify the party or whether a new leader is needed to reset Labour's direction before the next election. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.